and what I do isn't very nice. There he is, baby. We have Wolverine from Deadpool and Wolverine. We are finally unboxing this. I'm super excited. I have the Deadpool, which we unboxed already. That was very fun. And now we have Wolverine himself, Hugh Jackman. I cannot wait to get into this unboxing. I absolutely loved the Deadpool and Wolverine movie, and this is just going to add to my love and appreciation for that movie now that I will have both Wolverine and Deadpool from that movie added to my figure collection. So let's get right into this unboxing.
I don't want to fight you, Peanut. Doesn't matter what you did. I just need your help.
I don't fucking care.
Uh-oh. Fuck. This is gonna hurt. All right. Fuck it. Let's give the people what they came for.
Let's fucking go.
Get your spectral sock out, nerds. It's gonna get good.
Boom, and there you guys have it. There is Wolverine from Deadpool and Wolverine. An amazing figure already out of the box. Already noting some things right off the rip. Beautiful, vibrant yellow and blue colors, really making the suit pop out, just like it does in the comics. But having it in live action, especially in the movie, it was amazing to see. And this figure definitely gives that same image and reflects that. Just getting him out, I mean, he looks great. He feels very sturdy and strong of a figure. His blades especially, that was the first thing I tried to go ahead and feel. They are stuck in there. And they are very, very, very sturdy. Obviously, they could be bent easy. They're still thin plastic, but at the end of the day, they have a great form. They don't bend as easily as you would think, especially compared to a lot of the other older Marvel Legends Wolverine figures. I actually like that these are kind of stationary and stuck in there. If you know anything about Marvel Legends Wolverine figures, you would know that a lot of times the Wolverine figures actually had claws inside Wolverine's fist that you could pop in and out. So you could either have Wolverine without the claws in or with the claws out. Either way. With this figure, they give you two sets of hands. One set of hand ends up having no claws, and the other sets of hands have the claws. That way, it kind of makes it to where the claws are stuck in there. They're strong, sturdy, and they don't easily pop out. They don't easily bend, and they don't easily break. Which, honestly, for this figure especially, I like that. I do have a Wolverine figure that has that type of claw mechanic there. I guess we'll go ahead and start comparing figures since I'm talking about it. This is the comic accurate Wolverine, costume, the yellow and blue tiger striped one, kind of like the one that you see in stuff like X-Men 97. You've got all of the original Wolverine comics where he's wearing this suit with the X-Men. That is how it originally looks in the comics. Big differences you can obviously tell is that this is more of like an orangish yellow. It's a deeper shade of yellow versus this bright, almost neon type of yellow. I kind of like the new color for the yellow for his suit a little bit better. I feel like it matches the X-Men yellow better. That was one of the things involving Wolverine, is that his yellow suit really didn't match the yellow belts and gloves and boots that all the other X-Men had. For example, Cyclops. Cyclops had a yellow that was more closer to that. I guess it also depends on the iteration of X-Men that you're talking about. But 9 times out of 10, the yellow was brighter and more vibrant on the other X-Men than it was the actual suit for Wolverine. Wolverine had kind of a darker toned yellow on his suit. It was more orangish looking, and you can kind of see that as you have these two side by side. But getting into the claw mechanic that I was talking about with these figures is that this figure has, as you can see, a claw that I could pop straight out of the fist. and then you go ahead and you would just put that back in the fist. And the problem with that is that you're seeing me do it now. It's actually quite difficult to get it back into the fist. You kind of have to go at an angle, put it in, and then twist it in if you want it to. And then the other problem is that all the other claws are put in the same way, so they move very easily. Just by me swiping my finger, the claws go everywhere. You can see how they bend. And that kind of causes a problem. Number one, when you're setting it up to be posable for your collection, when somebody goes to touch it just to check it out, the claws get all types of mangled up and they get bent out of shape, which is kind of a problem. And not only that, when you're doing any type of stop motion video or anything else of that nature, it's very hard to keep those claws in the exact same position that they originally were. And I mean, you can kind of see it. This hand, the claws are wider spread out more than the other claws are. And that was a problem that I always saw occur when handling that Wolverine figure. With this figure, they have that fixed. You know, the claws are very stationary. I'm brushing it, nothing's changing. You know, you're seeing it flex, but other than that, it's not changing at all. The claws stay the same way that they are. Comparing his size with other figures, we have the Deadpool from Deadpool and Wolverine, the other figure that I had unboxed. These two go together. You can see the size comparison. Really makes you realize just how much of a difference Hugh Jackman's size is from the original Wolverine size. This is how tall the accurate Wolverine would have actually probably been. Honestly, this figure might even be a little bit taller than the accurate Wolverine really would have been. So you can kind of see the size difference there. He's almost like half to a full foot taller, it looks like. And then you have Deadpool here, who should technically be taller than Wolverine, but in the movie, I don't think he is. I'm pretty sure Wolverine is either the same height or a little bit taller. Hugh Jackman's a big man, so I mean, it makes sense. So there you go. Very vibrant colors. They match very well. And then to go ahead and put the last person I'll compare him with, we have another comic accurate figure. We have the Silver Samurai, which is a arch nemesis, a rival of Wolverine. If you know anything about the old Wolverine comics, Silver Samurai is a very, very big villain. He actually is in the movies too. If you ever seen the Wolverine movie, where he's over in Japan, he actually fights the Silver Samurai. That iteration was a giant mechanized robot that the older Japanese man actually sat inside and controlled. But in the comics, he actually was a Japanese samurai. He was like actually in the samurai suit. It wasn't a big robot. It was a full-on just samurai suit made out of adamantium. Really, really cool. Getting into the actual articulation of this figure, the articulation is stiff, but granted, I just got it out of the box. But not so stiff that it's actually a problem. It's actually still very fluent. He has a lot of different joints, different articulation. As you can see here, he's got his bicep rotation, he's got his shoulder rotation, wrist go up and down depending on what you want him to do. You've got obviously the elbow joints, you've got the torso twist there, you've got the ab crunch, you have the hip rotation, you have the actual thigh rotation, the knees here, that articulation, you have the ankles, the legs don't rotate, it doesn't have any type of calf rotation, and then obviously you have the head itself. Really, really cool figure, lots of articulation, like I said, lots of different availabilities for posing. This figure all around is really, really cool, just off of my first things of seeing it. Let me go ahead and move this out so I could show you some of the accessories it came with. We talked about a couple of them already. We talked about the other set of hands that does not have the claws in it. One is a fist and the other one is a grabbing hand, which is really, really good because I wouldn't have wanted it to be two grabbing hands or two fists. Although I would have been fine with that, I would rather have one being a grasping hand, one being a punching hand, so that you have more availability of different poses and things that you could do with this Wolverine. Like, let's say you have a little beer prop, you can have Wolverine drinking the beer with the grasping hand, but if you want him to punch somebody in the face without using the claws, you have that closed fist hand that you can go ahead and do that with. And then if you need his claws, you have both hands with the claws in it. And like I said, it's a much sturdier version of the claws, allowing you to do a whole lot more contact and actual posing rather than worrying about the claws popping out. It also comes with a head that you can swap with it, the Hugh Jackman Wolverine head right there. So if you want Logan's head to fully come out and have the mask down, you could do that as well. What would have really been dope is if you were able to actually have the neck piece of the cowl behind him. In the movie, obviously, I don't think it shows that. I think it's tucked into his actual armor in the back. But it would have been a cool little addition in case you wanted his face on there. You could see the cowl in the back. But I guess technically it would be movie accurate to not have the cowl back like that, because I don't remember seeing it in the movie. Perhaps it was there and I missed it, but I don't remember it being there. Either way, super, super cool figure. Box is very similar to the box that the Deadpool comes in. It's got all the fun little Deadpool details and drawings in the back. So it's very, very, very similar. Nothing really different there. All around, that's pretty much it with this figure. This figure is just absolutely amazing. I mean, he's got, like I said, great articulation. I'm not seeing anything that makes this figure bad at all. I mean, the articulation is perfectly fine. Nothing is obstructing the articulation neither. That's another point that I would like to make. With the Deadpool figure here, you had a lot of things that would actually block its articulation. From the belt, from the actual gun holsters when you put the guns in, and you also had the sheaths for the katanas on his back. A lot of those things would actually restrict his ability to be flexible in his articulation as a figure. With this Wolverine figure, that is not the case. Nothing really gets in the way. I mean, at the very, very most, it would be the shoulder plates, but it really doesn't restrict it neither, to be honest with you. I mean, his arms still go out pretty well, and you can still rotate it, including rotating the shoulder plate. So it really doesn't affect it that much. This Wolverine figure is absolutely amazing. If I was to go ahead and rate this figure out of 10, I'm honestly going to be real with you. I'm giving it a 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10 figure. It's a 10 out of 10. There's literally nothing wrong with this figure that I could tell you. I don't see anything wrong with this figure at all. It's movie accurate. It looks exactly like it did in the movie. Everything about it is great. It came out perfectly fine. At the end of the day, it's just a great figure. If you want a Wolverine figure, especially one for a movie iteration, the movie version of a Wolverine, this is definitely the figure to get. I would get this figure. And I did, as you can see. I'm glad to have this in my collection. This is definitely going to be one of my favorite figures, especially Wolverine figures that I own. Let's move over to some pictures that I went ahead and took, posing him next to other figures and by himself, just to show you what you would be in for if you got this figure for your collection.
Oh, hello.
Have it. That is the 10 out of 10 Deadpool and Wolverine in his yellow and blue iconic comic accurate outfit. Like I said, love this figure. It's a 10 out of 10. It's beautiful, gorgeous. Articulation is perfect for what a Wolverine figure needs, and its posability is, as you guys saw, great. Absolutely great. I'm so glad to add this figure to my collection, and if I were you, I would 100% go out and get this figure. It is worth getting. It is worth having in your collection, even though it's Marvel Legends, and I know a lot of people have problems with Marvel Legends, and they'd rather get stuff like 112 Collective, SH Figure Arts, all types of other stuff like that. I'm telling you, this is definitely a very good figure, and it is worthy of being in your collection. So if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and share. Post your comments down below and let me know what you all thought about this figure. And let me know if you guys are going to get it. I always like to know that my unboxings help get some people to get those figures or persuades them into getting those figures, that they're like, oh wow, this figure is actually really, really cool, and honestly a very nice addition to my own collection. Let me know, guys, what you all think about it, if you guys are thinking about getting it, and if you do have it, what you guys thought about it, and if you think that my unboxing was pretty accurate. And as always, I will catch you on the next video. Peace.